Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Thursday the 26th of March, and yesterday was a bit of an odd day really, because we had the news that Prince Charles had been tested positive for COVID-19. It said that he was feeling unwell with mild symptoms and is now in self-isolation with the Duchess of Cornwall, which is Camilla, Balmoral Castle in Scotland. Now, Camilla tested negative, but she is still in self-isolation because she has been around Charles. Also, the Queen was in Charles's presence on the 12th of March at Buckingham Palace. She's said to be in good health and taking medical advice. Slightly worrying though, because we don't really know for sure what the infectious period is. It's said to be about 2 weeks, and it has been just shy of 2 weeks since Charles has actually been with the Queen. Very worrying times indeed. What's even more worrying to me is the reaction on Twitter. It's vile. Some of the comments that I've seen from Meghan's fans are downright illegal. They have actually been wishing death of Prince Charles, the Queen and Kate and William. And this is one of the reasons why I backed off Twitter yesterday, because it broke my heart. I would never ever wish anything ill happen to anybody. It's inhumane. But some of them have literally been physically mocking, saying, well, you know, if Prince Charles gets killed by it, that means Meghan and Harry are one step closer to the throne. Let's just simplify this. That's never going to happen. Not in a million years. I think the public would rather revolt and end the monarchy than her ascent to the throne as consort. But it really broke my heart in seeing these tweets. Nobody should say anything like that about anybody. It's disgusting, you know, and I think that they need to be called out for their actions. I think if Meghan and Harry knew what they were doing, they would be ashamed and shocked, and they would wash their hands of them, quite frankly. So you really need to look at the way you're behaving. Is it normal? Is it right? No. What's even more concerning to me is a blind that has been released by Blind Gossip. Now, you know me, I've spoken about this on many occasions. Blind Gossip is a very reliable source. They have a very high hit rate in getting their blinds correct. This one is extremely disturbing, and I will urge you, I don't normally do this, but I will urge you to listen with a pinch of salt, because I think this has just gone above the mark, and if it is true, I am going to be extremely shocked. I really, really hope it's not true, but I think in the fairness of reporting what I find, I have to include this. So it's called A Shocking Accident. It says, this actress is pretending to be all concerned about the health of her husband's family members. What a crock. She mentioned this movie where the entire family was wiped out by a freak accident. The freak accident was certainly shocking. It allowed someone to unexpectedly to ascend to power, take over the family firm. The main character went from being a nobody to being king of the hill. The movie was a comedy that came out in the 90s. It wasn't particularly good, but we can see why she found it memorable after her luxurious wedding to one of the members of the prominent family. She recently asked somebody if they had seen it. She was laughing about it and saying it was one of her favourite movies. Does she actually think that the movie premise could really become her reality? Is that the reason she's telling her husband to physically stay away from his family? Now that to me, if true, and like I said, we have to always look at these things with a pinch of salt. I'm not one of these people that just goes headstrong into these theories. I will always try and analyse what I see. If it's true, it's despicable. But then again, it could also be somebody trying to stir the pot. If somebody knows that there is a lot of tension, and the whole world knows that there is a lot of tension between Harry, Meghan and his family, could it be somebody that is stirring the pot to make things worse? Because when things are blown out of proportion, everybody's behaviour becomes extremely exaggerated. So this well could be somebody trying to sabotage. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is this completely plausible? Do you think that she would sink this low as to physically mock an illness that is killing millions, or has the potential to kill millions, and make it all about her. But, she's got form on this. We know that she has completely, or they have completely, changed the format around on their Instagram to focus on what's going on in the world. They even dropped the most ridiculous post on Instagram the other day telling us to wash our hands, as if we didn't know that, as if that hasn't been rammed down our throats since the beginning of January. Everybody knows that we need to up washing our hands. It's just simple sense. Anybody that's an idiot doesn't know that. And they have been physically mocked on Instagram because people are saying that, hang on a minute, you're telling us to do this. What do you think you are? We already know this. Find something meaningful to post and not rehashed old news. What it's coming across as is patronising and smug because they have the ability to be able to self-isolate completely wherever they are with the known issue that they do not have to want for anything, that they have 95% of their allowance still coming in, which is probably over £2 million a year. That's not including Harry's inheritance and the money that Meghan made from Suits. So yeah, people are calling them out for this because it just seems patronising. And it's as if it's like, well, you're in your ivory tower. Don't speak to us. Don't preach to us what we need to do. Do something useful. People are now calling them out, saying, if you want to do something useful, don't do this on your platform. Get your feet on the ground and do something good. Donate. Purchase some masks. Purchase some ventilators. Do something other than just putting pretty things on Instagram and saying silly words. There is also the connotation that us anti-Meghan fans are implying that it was Meghan's fault that Charles has come down with this virus. No, well, I wouldn't ever say that because that's despicable. To blame this on Meghan is downright childish, and please don't do that. It is not their fault. It is just something that has happened. I wish Charles all the best and I hope that he gets better. He does have the best medical care. For anybody asking, the reason why he was tested was that he was actually in Scotland, and because he's 71, he now is eligible for testing because he's 71. Anybody in Scotland who is showing symptoms can get tested. Very different than the UK. You only get tested if you are admitted to hospital. But what Meghan and Harry are doing on their Instagram account is now looking ridiculous because they want to be the oracle. They want to be the ones that push the real news out there. But what they're doing is looking silly and immature by rehashing old news that everybody knows anyway. Everybody is fully aware of what's going on in society and what's going on in the world right now and within each of their own countries and across the world. By telling everybody to wash their hands it's just patronising, isn't it? It's this kind of self-serving lecturing of the public that really gets up people's noses because they are in an extremely privileged position. They really don't need or want for anything. They are in a very unique position where they really don't have to do anything. They can just simply hold up wherever they are and just let it pass because they have lackeys to do other things for them. We're still paying for their security. Canada ain't paying. We're paying the whole damn lot, aren't we, taxpayers? She doesn't really have to walk the streets to get her shopping. She doesn't have to queue for 2 hours in the online shopping to get even onto the website and when your deliveries arrive. 75% are missing. That's happened to me today. I was very lucky to actually book it 3 weeks ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had my shopping and we would have had to go out and get some shopping. My husband has a mess and it's a bit of a tricky time. She's in a unique position to have somebody else to do that and literally drop it off at her door. Doesn't really matter where the next paycheck is coming from because they know it's always coming. I had a theory yesterday that it was almost like a lightning bolt moment. Now, I think that Harry and Meghan have planned to leave the royal family for a while. I think it was probably in the pipeline for a good year before we knew anything of it. They thought that they were going to be global superstars. They thought that people were going to be lining up to their door for them to work with them. I think while some offers may be there, like I mentioned in yesterday's video about The Simpsons, how silly is that? I think they thought that they could command big money for speaking. One, that will only have so much longevity because you lose the sparkle if you spread yourself too thin. And also, people want to hear about the royal life because it's such a gilded cage. People aren't going to want to hear the same thing over and over again. So without new material, you lose your sparkle and you lose your attraction. I think Harry and Meghan expected to become the royals that aren't royals and be their own brand of royal, be their own monarchy as such, and to outshine William and Kate. And I think that is just exactly what Meghan would want to do. This is just my own opinion, okay? This is my theory. I've got no substance to this. It's just me sharing my opinions. They wanted to outshine William and Kate. That is evident. But this thing that's going around, I don't really want to keep using the word because I might get a strike. This thing that's going around the world right now, this virus, has just completely taken the wind out their sails. William and Kate have stepped up and become the monarchy's younger generation that we needed, and a face that the people need because William is strong and dependable and a born leader. And then we have Harry and Meghan that are just fannying around with Instagram. What exactly are they doing? So I think, in my opinion, their leaving was in part an effort to also hurt the Cambridges in some way. And I don't think it worked very well because everything's just got shut down. And I don't think it would have worked anyway because, like I said, the sparkle would have worn off very, very quickly. Without new material to start talking and building, you are just ex-royals that have just left it all behind, and people will only book you for the macabre kind of watching, why did they do that? Let's see what they have to say. And there's no longevity in that. If there's no longevity, there's no money either. There's no money anyway because the whole world is crumbling and they're just watching everything go up in smoke. I would really like to know your thoughts on this matter. What do you think of Prince Charles and what's going on with him at the moment? I wish him well. I hope you all do too. I hope that he gets better. He will have the best medical care because he is our future monarch. What do you think about what I reported Meghan to be saying about this film? Do you think it's something that she would do? Do you think that it's just somebody stirring the pot? And what do you think of, yet again, more nonsense on Instagram? How far will they go before they really piss the public off with their patronising nonsense? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.